This video I want to. Hi, welcome to North of 48 on March 29th. It's Good Friday. I hope you're having a good Friday. Got a couple of articles here. I had a couple of people ask me how come I'm off schedule. Well, it has been busy. I do work. This podcast doesn't pay me anything. I just do it just because YouTube said I could. So I said, okay, we'll do that. But it's actually the podcast is if you're not subscribed to our podcast, which you can find on Spotify, Anchor, and other podcast hosts, you should, because you get extra shows on that podcast. I have good news. Possibly tomorrow, Konstantin from Russia. We're going to talk about Russia, the shooting, the refinery attacks, the economy. And we might have him on Saturday tomorrow. So subscribe to YouTube here so you get a notification when we go live. If we do it tomorrow, it'll be about noon Mountain, which would be 2 o'clock Eastern. And he's traveling and we're going to try to get together. We've been trying to do this for a bit. And Paul J is still, he's a little under the weather, but I think next week we'll have him. So that will be nice. I just want to start off with as we get older, we tend to lose friends. So I did lose a friend the last couple of days, Peter Halati, a heck of a guy, good community organizer, softball coach, helped his wife with the softball program in my area. And these are the people you hope not to lose. And a couple of years ago, he was diagnosed with cancer and he had 3 months to live. So he beat that by about 2 years, which is good. And he used to tell me after his cancer diagnosis, he did a lot of walking, lost some weight, and just went to see everybody. And he was just a heck of a guy. And I just want to express my condolences to his family. He's a great friend, and we miss him. Okay, we're going to start off with, just give me 1 second here. Let me get rid of that floating thing. I'm going to share my screen and, whoops. Oh, there we go. As you can see, if anybody who's been doing with looking after the Russia and the Ukrainian thing, these are some of the guys that I listen to is Dr. Gerdes and Jake Bro, but also Joe Blogs here on the screen. What has happened is someone has taken over his YouTube channel and there's now a crypto video on a loop trying to sell crypto. Now, chances are it's, well, I'm going to say it's the Russians because he talks a lot about the economy of Russia. And yeah, we think so. So if you are a friend of Joe Blogs or has seen him, please contact YouTube to restore his video. It's been replaced with a crypto scam, which, you know, those Russians, and election season's coming in. So we're going to start off with talking about, well, I'm going to actually talk a little bit about Ukraine right now. And Ukraine's been hitting their Russian refineries quite good. And they're down to 20% of capacity. Sorry, they've taken about 20% of capacity out of their pipelines. And Russia is using this to fuel their war spending. The special military operation, or war, as Putin now calls it, it costs the Kremlin $300 million per day. Now, he's introducing a progressive tax to fund the war in Ukraine. I wonder why, because it wasn't done in 3 days or 3 weeks. It's going on a couple of years, and there's a whole lot of hurt going around. TASS, the government-sponsored news site, says the Crocus City Hall attackers received significant financial help from Ukraine. Crap. I'm calling crap on that. And Putin does not have plans to visit the Crocus City Hall or victims of the attack, although he sent Steven Seagal over to pay condolences to the attackers at Crocus, or the people who were attacked at Crocus City Hall. Russia's increased the gasoline imports from Belarus to avert possible shortages domestically after Ukraine drone strikes on refineries. And imports from Belarus are up to 3,000 tons. Russian officials are connecting Western states to a variety of terrorist attacks against Russia in a likely effort to intensify rhetoric about Western Ukrainian threats against Russia. All this stuff is from the Daily Kos, KOS, and you can search it, Google it, and especially Ann Lee's column, you should read. It's very good. Authorities are exerting legal pressure on migrants in Russia, and we're going to get to that. The Moscow Times says Gabon became Russia's largest supplier of spare parts for Russia aircraft in 2023. I have no idea that they were such prolific aircraft manufacturers. Perhaps Boeing goes to there at least. At least 58 Russian civilians are killed by returning special military operation heroes. Probably the ones that were with the Wagner Group that were in prison, and they're pardoned from after they did their duty in Ukraine. So, Solovyov, Russian media personality, calls for the total destruction of Kharkiv, and he asks why Kyiv still exists. And he calls to restore historical justice by capturing Finland, the Baltics, Poland, and Alaska. Good luck. In Ukraine, Zelensky had an interview with CBS. The war can come very quickly to Europe if not stopped. On the expected Russian summer offensive, I say we need help now. The bill is still blocked in Congress to send monies to buy weapons for Ukraine. I heard it had some traction. I have no idea at this time how far it's gone. Hopefully, it'll be finalized by next week, and then Russia can have some, or Ukraine can have some ammunition to help their citizens. They're just getting schwacked right now. Russia's just incredible barrage of drones and missiles and hurting people. The Kyiv City Military Administration has a potential threat of infiltration by Russian subversive intelligence groups into Kiev and missile attacks, and authorities are on high alert. Excuse me. Ukraine and Poland are ready to conclude a joint border agreement. Now, there's been grain trucks stopped by farmers between Ukraine and Poland, primarily because the Belarus border openings have been blocked, and the Polish farmers are worried about the Ukraine grain being cheaper and coming into the economy and spoiling their livelihood. However, this has been going on for months, so it should have been rectified by now. And but Ukraine and Poland are ready to conclude a joint border agreement, so hopefully that blockade will be over. A draft law on mobilization amended to lower the enlistment age and introduce basic military training for adults is now going through the Ukrainian parliament. There's been some talk about they need 500,000 troops. General Sikorsky, the head of Ukraine ground army, has said that he doesn't need that many as 500,000, especially if he gets the offensive weapons from America and Germany, which would be good. Budnov, he's the security guy with Ukraine. He says Russia knew about the Crocus City Hall attack preparations at least since February 15th. United States of America reached out to Russia and said there was a pending Islamic attack. And we all know that it was ISIS-K and not Ukraine. Actually, Lyshenko from Belarus, the president, has said that the attackers weren't going to Ukraine. They were trying to get to Belarus and use their passports in Belarus to fly to another country. Ukrainian Parliament's Security and Defense Committee rejected the amendment on demobilization after 36 months of service without the approval of headquarters of Supreme Commander-in-Chief in the new bill. So after 36 months, Ukrainian soldiers apparently can be demobilized and leave. And they're trying to prevent that from happening. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Kiev plans to set up an enterprise to produce drones locally, which is they have a couple of factories around Ukraine. Sometimes the Russians know about it and they bomb it, but they're doing some more. All right, I want to switch gears now to CAFOs. It's concentrated animal feeding operation. That's a CAFO. And this has to do with Oregon enforcing its water use requirements, and small farmers face the consequences. Let me switch gears here. And let me share this with you. So this farmer here, her complaint is she's very small. She has blueberries she was selling. And now she has a section of field she don't even know if she'll plant it because she's using well water to grow vegetables. Apparently in Oregon, you need to have a permit for that. You can use rainwater for your vegetables, but you can't use groundwater. Which makes it so the big companies have all these permits. They'll be the only ones to supply you blueberries and not your local farmer's market. They basically made growing food illegal in Oregon for small farmers. They're not supposed to be able to use, they should be able to use up to 5,000 gallons a day for commercial or industrial purposes, but it doesn't include irrigation. So you can wash a whole bunch of semi trucks with the water and be legal, but you can't water your plants with it. It's a double standard. She claims she was using fewer than 1,000 gallons for agriculture. She's not overusing the land. Some people are calling it engineered famine. Small farms aren't CAFOs, according to this article from Clean Industries, which is, I don't know if it's suspect or not, but most of the information that I read into it is true. Oregon has a broadly vague definition of CAFO. It describes it as a concentrated feeding or holding of animals or poultry, including but not limited to horse, cattle, sheep, or swine feeding areas, dairy confinement, poultry and egg production facilities where the surface has been prepared with concrete, rock, or fibrous material to support animals in wet weather. So if you had a barn with grass on it or dirt, I would assume you're legal to use water, irrigation water. However, if you've put cement or rock or some kind of firmament, you're out of luck. Some say 2 milking cows and some chickens qualifies as a CAFO. Can you imagine that? Even if there's a pathway of rock or gravel used as to get to a small barn or coop, that will make you CAFO. And that means you cannot have these animals. You can have them, but you can't feed them water. You can watch them dehydrate. You can dry them out, I suppose, but so it's obviously wrong. It's bureaucratic in favor of big corporations because big corporations have the permits. They've paid the $100,000 to get their permits for the land use for the water, and away they go. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. We'll have some more on that. There's a lady that I know, and I hope to interview her on that as well. Do we have Lexi in the house? We do. Hi, Lexi. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. Can we talk a little bit? Because I know nothing about this fellow here.
Let me see who you got here.
Yeah, let me take my screen sharing off. That would probably help. There we go.
Oh,
Do you know
Sean
who
Paul.
this is?
He goes by many names.
By many names, you say.
Yeah, that's P. Diddy.
Is that P. Diddy?
Yeah, that's P. Diddy, also known as Puffy, Puff Daddy, Love, Brother Love, Sean Combs.
Wow, he's got a lot of names. He was married to a Kardashian too at one time, right?
I don't think so.
Well,
I think
his dream, American
Kanye.
loss is in ruins, according to the Washington Post. Can you fill us in with what did he do? What's going on with Diddy?
What
If you
didn't he
if you
do?
don't mind, if you have some insight to this, I would so much appreciate it.
Well, I'll tell you that I started following Diddy when Keefe D went on tour saying that Diddy paid him to kill Tupac.
What?
Do you know who Tupac is?
I do very much. My kid used to listen to him.
Yeah, so Tupac, major hip hop rapper, was gunned down back in the 1990s, right?
Right.
Well, everybody's been really upset about that. Who killed Tupac? Well, Keefe D is some, no name rapper guy who recently, in the last couple years, went on a publicity tour, writing a book saying that Diddy paid him to kill Tupac, that Diddy put the hit out on Tupac. So that's where this all stems from, my interest in it, because I'm a Tupac fan, right?
Right.
So I'm following this, and Keefe D was arrested. He was given immunity by the police department, the LA police department, to come forward and give him information on it, but the immunity did not cover book deals or publicity tours. So once he started talking, he ended up being arrested for it. So that created people started not liking Diddy. So they
Mhm.
started digging, and the internet, you can't hide anything from the internet. They're going to find it all. Back in November, Cassie, do you know who Cassie is?
I have no idea.
So she had this one hit, You and Me, great song,
Okay.
whatever.
All right.
So Diddy and Cassie start going out. They're partners for about 10 years.
Wow.
She put this lawsuit out against him in November, accusing him of rape, sexual trafficking, abuse, domestic violence, forcing her to have many abortions, forcing her to sleep with sex workers.
Wow.
He paid her off the next day.
And did she withdraw her lawsuit?
She withdrew her lawsuit, walked away with millions. Well, this triggered a wave of victims to come forward. Since he paid Cassie off, what about his other victims? Is he going to pay them off too?
Good point.
Well, Lil Rod ended up filing suit, naming names, accusing P. Diddy and Cuba Gooding Jr. of all these different sexual abuse, sexual harassment.
Cuba Gooding Jr. is
Yep,
involved?
yep, he's involved.
Oh,
Not Cuba.
yeah.
So, as you may or may
Not
not,
Cuba.
Diddy's house was raided by the feds 4 days ago,
Okay.
March 25th.
Wow.
Homeland Security descended on his home, left it a mess. Diddy maintains his innocence. He said he didn't do it.
He should write a song like that other guy. Who's that other guy? I didn't do it. Not 50 Cent, but he's in jail now, I think.
O.J.
Well,
Simpson?
No, he's a rapper.
Shaggy wasn't me.
Shaggy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if Shaggy's in jail or not, but yeah, it wasn't me.
So it's funny you bring up 50 Cent. So
Yes.
50 Cent has been keeping his neck on Diddy for the past 6, 7, 8 years. He dedicated every other Tuesday to trolling Diddy on Instagram,
Oh,
posting
really?
about, yep, posting about how he's a fruitcake, how he offered to take him shopping,
Yeah.
how he's, some sort of sexual deviant. Well, Daphne Joy, who is Diddy's baby's mother,
Diddy's
who,
baby's mother. Okay.
no, 50 Cent's baby's mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Daphne Joy is named in this lawsuit by Lil Rod for being a sex worker and a drug mule.
Holy.
So 50 Cent is going for full custody of their son, his firstborn son, because of these allegations.
Hmm.
So she countered back with, no, it's actually him. He's a domestic violence person. He's done all these, terrible things.
Yeah.
But the point here is the feds don't pounce like this unless they have something. They have over a 90% conviction rate.
So where is P. Diddy now? Is he out on bail?
Well, Black Twitter exploded, calling him Flea Diddy,
Flee Diddy.
Oh, jeez.
because he allegedly flew on his private jet known as Love Air to a
Mhm.
non-extradition island in the Caribbean.
Well,
He left.
didn't the feds know that would happen?
Well, they talked to him at the Miami airport before he left because he was not under arrest at this point.
Okay.
But he did leave his two sons behind to be detained by the feds. They were arrested and caught on video in handcuffs sitting in their front yard.
The sons.
Yep, his two sons left him behind.
Well, are the sons in trouble? Or
Yeah, they're named in this lawsuit too. Well, they're adults, 25, 30,
wow.
allegedly involved in this somehow. Well, in the raid, they found multiple videos and images of celebrities, athletes, and politicians in precarious positions.
Oh, kind of like
Alleged,
Epstein's
yeah,
Island right there.
exactly. Like, his jet was the Lolita Express.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy's jet is Love Air.
Yeah.
Well, allegedly, Diddy's MO was getting people of influence and power in embarrassing illegal positions to gain control of them.
Oh, wow.
That's how you do it.
So it's been a running joke in the industry that if Diddy wants to party with you, you need to tell him no.
Yeah. So by his actions, can we conclude he looks a little guilty here, or is he just clearing his head out on an island that he can't be extradited from? We don't know, right?
How
We don't
dare you call into question this man's innocence?
we don't know, but we're in the age of Aquarius. It's the eclipse season. So I think the truth will come out one way or another.
Wow. Wow, that's some truth. I tell you that. A lot of people involved, his sons as well. Are Kardashian involved at all? No?
Actually, no. It's funny you bring that up because Kanye, who was married, or we should now call him Ye,
Oh,
was married to Kim Kardashian. And
right.
he, in one of his crazy rantings, tried to warn us about Diddy.
Oh, you did?
Yep. And Jay-Z and Beyonce. But that's another story. We'll save that for next time.
Okay. Well, while we have you, is our official, I think our social reporter, we'll say. What about Nickelodeon? The guy who ran the kids thing, he's in trouble too, right?
Oh yeah, he's
What's
in
his
hot
name?
water.
Schneider?
Dan Schneider, yeah. Trial.
Schneider.
And they had there's because he had a lot of kids that he was directing for Nickelodeon, right?
Oh, it went on for decades.
I
He's in
hate
hot
this story.
water. Yeah, he's in hot water for creating an environment that allowed sexual abuse and sexual harassment on the set of many of these 90s television shows that I personally grew up watching to happen. So it's been quite a ride watching that play out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he hasn't been formally charged, Dan Schneider, with anything yet, but I think the ball's in motion.
Was he
But
there when Brittany was there?
so Brittany is a
Oh,
Disney girl.
okay. That wasn't a Nickelodeon thing. But
He
that
was
other,
there when her sister was there, though.
oh, good point.
Yeah, and there's some rumors that Jamie Lynn Spears had to go away for a while because the baby that she was pregnant with belonged to him,
Rumors, though, allegedly, right? So, all
allegedly. Yeah.
right.
And
What
then,
about how the Nickelodeon logo was a foot? Not a coincidence.
right, he allegedly has this foot fetish
Mm-hmm.
going on, which is why we have multiple videos of Ariana Grande sticking her foot in her mouth.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was on a show he directed.
Oh, this guy's insane.
Yeah, it goes deep. He also directed the Amanda Bynes show, and
Oh,
y'all know where Amanda is now, not doing too good.
oh man, these perverts taking advantage of allegedly taking advantage of children is the worst thing that can happen to a child. And welcome to Hollywood. I think this has been going on since Hollywood was invented. If you read about some of the starlets from the 30s, Veronica Lake comes to mind as a 16-year-old. And then she left Hollywood. She went nuts. Same thing here.
I
But,
blame the sus-ass parents. That's who I blame.
oh, okay. Lexi, thank you very much for that. I mean, that's something that I did not know.
Yeah, anytime.
Great report, Lexi.
Yeah, so I appreciate it.
Hey, you asked me earlier if you said, did he? And I say he did.
Okay. All right. So I had some more Russian stuff, but I think we'll just we'll end it right there on Diddy. Did he do
He
it?
did. He did.
He might have. He's on an
Oh,
island.
he. Aren't you glad you know now?
Not really. I hate these stories. These stories are just something. I mean, we're here to protect the children, bring them up, and society's well, it's going to shit, I guess. Especially when these guys with power, right? Always, it's the Epsteins, it's the Trumps, it's all these guys. Oh, damn it! I said a politician's name.
The Clintons.
Hey, we might get charged with electioneering here. Hold off on the politic talk. So,
Oh,
yeah, we're trying to avoid that today.
oh.
Yes.
Shall we talk about Mrs. Smith's frozen peas?
I have no idea what that is.
They're full of green penis.
Again, I don't know. So there's a link to the Discord in the show notes here. Why don't you join us? Keep the conversation going, whether you want to talk about Russia, Ukrainian, or you want to talk about P. Diddy. The choice is yours. Join us, and we shall see you next time on North of 48. As soon as I bring up our logo, that is. Thank you very much. Bye.